Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev. जय ओम विष्णुपाद परिवंशकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्रीमद अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी शीला प्रभुपाद की इस्कॉन फाउंडर आचार्य शीला प्रभुपाद की नाम आचार्य शीला हरिदास ठाकुर की ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada की जय. Hare Krishna. So, welcome to this morning Bhagavatam class. Today we are reciting the verse from Canto 4, Chapter 9, Text 16. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So, text 16. Yasmin viruddha gataya hi ani sampatanti ya anupurvayat तद्ब्रह्म विश्वभवमेकमनन्तमाद्यम् आनन्दमात्रमविकारम् अहं प्रपद्ये यस्मिन् विरुद्धगतयो हि अनिष्टं पतन्ति विद्यादयो विविधशक्त्यो अनुपूर्वयात् तद्ब्रह्म विश्वभवम् एकम् अनन्तमाद्यम् आनन्दमात्रमविकारम् अहं प्रपद्ये यस्मिन् विरुद्धगतयो हि अनीशं पतन्ति विद्यादयो विविधशक्त्य अनुपूर्वयात् तद्ब्रह्म विश्वभवमेकमनन्तमाद्यम् आनन्दमात्रमविकारम् अहं प्रपद्ये प्रभुजी यस्मिन् विरुद्धगतयो हि अनीशं पतन्ति विद्याधरो विविधशक्त्य अनुपूर्वयात् तद्ब्रह्म विश्वभवमेकमनन्तमाद्यम् आनन्दमात्रमविकारम् अहं प्रपद्ये यस्मिन् विरुद्धगतयो हि अनीशं पतन्ति विद्यादयो विविधशक्त्य अनुपूर्वयात् तद्ब्रह्म विश्वभवमेकमनन्तमाद्यम् आनन्दमात्रमविकारम् अहं प्रपद्ये. यस्मिन् विरुद्धगतयो हि अनीशं पतन्ति विद्यादयो विविधशक्ताय अनुपूरयात् तद्ब्रह्म विश्वभवमेकमनन्तमाद्यम् आनन्दमात्रमविकारम् अहं प्रपद्ये. What to what meaning? Yasmin, in whom, viruddhagataya, of opposite character, he, certainly, anisam, always, patanti, or manifest, vidya adaya, knowledge and ignorance, etc. Vivida, various, saktaya, energies, anupurvyat, continually, tat, that, brahma, brahman, vishwabhavam, the cause of material creation, ekam, one, anantam, unlimited, adyam, original, anandamatram, simply blissful, avikaram, changeless, aham, I, prapadye, offer my obeisances. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation, please repeat. My dear Lord, in your impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continually manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited, and blissful, is the cause of material manifestation. Because you are the same impersonal Brahman, I offer my respectful obeisance unto you. Purport. In the Brahma Samhita, it is said that unlimited impersonal Brahman is effulgence of transcendental body of Govinda. In that unlimited effulgence aura of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, there are innumerable universes with innumerable planets of different categories. Although the Supreme Person is the original cause of all causes, his impersonal effulgence known as Brahman is immediate cause of the material manifestation. Dhruva Maharaj therefore offered his respectable obeisance unto impersonal feature of the Lord. One who realizes the impersonal feature can enjoy unchangeable Brahmananda, described here as a spiritual bliss. Srila Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur describes that this impersonal feature or Brahman manifestation of Supreme Lord is meant for persons who are essentially very advanced but still not able to understand the personal feature of variegatedness of the spiritual world. Such devotees are known as Jnana Mishra Bhakta, or devotees whose devotional service is mixed with empirical knowledge. Because impersonal Brahman realization is a partial understanding of the absolute truth, Dhruva Maharaj offers his respectable obeisances. It is said that this impersonal Brahman is the distant realization of the absolute truth. Although apparently Brahman seems to be devoid of energy, factually it has different energies working under heading of knowledge and ignorance. On account of these different energies, there is continually a manifestation of Vidya and Avidya. Vidya and Avidya are very nicely described in Epotion. It is said that there are sometimes due to Avidya or poor fund of knowledge, one accepts the absolute truth as ultimately impersonal. But in fact, the impersonal and personal realization develop in proportion up to the development of devotional service. The more we develop our devotional service, the more closely we approach the absolute truth. which in the beginning, when we realize the absolute truth from the distant place, is manifest as impersonal. People in general who are under the influence of avidya shakti or maya have neither knowledge nor devotion, but when a person who is little advanced and is therefore called jnani advances even more, he is in the category of jnana mishra bhakta or devotee whose love is mixed with empirical knowledge. When he is still further advanced, he can realize that the absolute truth is a person with multi energies. An advanced devotee can understand the Lord and his creative energy. As soon as one accepts the creative energy of the absolute truth, the six opulence of Supreme Personality of Godhead are also understood. Devotees who are still further advanced in full knowledge can understand the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. Only on that platform can one fully enjoy transcendental bliss. An example is given in the connection by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakura of a person proceeding toward a destination. As he approaches, he sees the destination from a distant place, just as we see city from a distance. At that time, he simply understands that city is situated at a distance. When, however, he comes still nearer, he sees the domes and flags. But as soon as he enters the city, he sees various parks, gardens, lakes, and marketplaces with shops and persons by persons buying. He sees varieties of cinema houses and sees dancing and jubilation. When a person actually enters the city and personally sees the activities of the city, he becomes satisfied. Next to Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Siyuta Padakamalam Sri Gurum Vaishnavamscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare. So we are continuing the chapter 9. Dhruv Maharaj returns home. So previously we discussed about the Dhruv Maharaj who started offering prayers to Supreme Lord. When Lord Vishnu appeared and Lord Vishnu touched his conch shell to Dhruv Maharaj, then Dhruv Maharaj started, he got his consciousness and changed, and he started offering prayers. He started offering prayers, and in the last few prayers we have been seeing how Dhruv Maharaj is glorifying the Supreme Lord Vishnu. So in yesterday also, in the yesterday's verse it was mentioned like Supreme Lord is like different activities and various how it is very transcendental. And in today's verse and the translation, if you see, the Dhruv Maharaj is glorifying the impersonal aspect of Supreme Lord, that is Brahman. So if you see the translation, my dear Lord, in your impersonal manifestation of Brahman, there are always two opposing elements, knowledge and ignorance. Your multi-energies are continually manifest, but the impersonal Brahman, which is undivided, original, changeless, unlimited and blissful, is the cause of material manifestation. Because you are the same impersonal Brahman, I offer my respectable obeisances unto you. So, he is glorifying Vishnu in the impersonal aspect of Vishnu is continuously glorifying. So in today's purpose and purport, we will also discuss about this absolute truth, and what is the process we try to understand the absolute truth, that we will try to discuss. So if you see in the Bhagavad Gita 15th chapter, it was mentioned sarvasya chaham hrudi sannivishto matta smriti jnanam apohanam cha vedescha sarver aham eva vejo vedanta krud veda deha chaham. So the word which the line which we are trying to focus today is vedescha sarvam aham eva vejo. So Krishna is saying that the purpose of all Vedas is to know Krishna. So we have the Vedas, right? So Rig Veda, four Vedas: Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, Sama Veda, Atharvana Veda. So when we read all the Vedas, what is the ultimate conclusion we should get from the Vedas is to know Krishna. So who is Krishna? What is the energies and those things? So, but generally, what will happen? Like previously also, I quoted this example. When we start reading, if we start going to open Vedas and start reading scriptures, it has so much vast information. Like it has a Karma Kanda section, Jnana Kanda, Bhakti, so many things are there. So once we start reading the book, the scriptures, Veda, then we'll get attracted to so many other topics and we'll deviate from the path. Like example I quoted previously, like if you go to the shopping mall to buy something, suddenly you see various shops, and these shops will having different offers. Then you will forget your original goal, what to buy, and then you run behind those cheap deals and you will get distraction. Finally, at the end of the shopping, you may not buy what exactly you wanted, but you buy something which is cheap, which are having deals. So in the same way, in Vedas, we will have so many details available, but when we don't have a right guidance, what will happen? We get distraction and we will go all around different places and we may not be able to. Ultimate conclusion is knowing Krishna, right? Vedesya sarver ahameva vedyo means to be known, Krishna to be known from all the Vedas. So now, when we say that Krishna is saying that I am to be known from all Vedas, that's what in the 15th chapter he was saying. So I am to be known. We can. It's a more generic, broader statement. It's not having any details. Like I am to be known means what exactly, what things from Krishna we need to know, right? So if we further that in 7th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, we have a very famous verse. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavam mam prapajyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudirabha. So the verse, like again the line Vasudeva sarvamiti. The translation says, after many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrender unto me, knowing me is the cause of all causes. And that is such a great soul is very rare. So people who understand that Krishna is everything, Krishna is the cause of all causes, so they will surrender to Krishna. So this is the knowledge we need to get it by. Actually, that is when we read Vedas, when we study Vedas, when we study scriptures, this is the ultimate knowledge we need to get. Krishna is everything. Every aspect of our life is connected to Krishna. So without Krishna, nothing is there. So in that case, if we generalize, when we go in further detail means, so the material world we are living, Krishna is creating. Spiritual world, Krishna is creating. And we have 8.4 million species in the different bodies. Right? All the energies are coming from Krishna. And different energies are there. And Krishna lives in everyone's heart as a Paramatma. And Krishna is a Bhagavan. He is the richest. If you look at all the 6 opulences, he is in full. So there are various details we will get to know about Krishna. When we understand Krishna, all these aspects of Krishna, all these qualities of Krishna, all these glories of Krishna, we will have to know. So that is the ultimate aim of understanding, studying scriptures, the Vedas. Now, we have a Vedas, full information is there, right? But are we able to, when we read the Vedas, are we able to get all the details? Because when we read, how many of us getting complete understanding of Krishna? If we read on our own, very few people will understand little bit, because it's in a Devanagari, like it's now the English translation is available. When we try to read on our own, we may not be able to understand exactly whatever is the intention. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the summarizing all these qualities, various qualities and various of the Krishna, and it can be seen in 3 aspects, right? That the verse, Srimad Bhagavatam verse, 1st canto, 2nd chapter, 11th. Vedanta, Vadanti tat tattvavidas tattvam ajnanam tattvam jajnanam advayam brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sajjati. So Krishna is absolute truth, means knowing Krishna means brahmeti paramatmeti bhagavan iti sajjati. So knowing Krishna in three levels: Brahman, Paramatma and Krishna. Same Krishna, but he will appear in, we can see in, perceive in three different ways. Some people can somewhere in elsewhere in Bhagavatam also it was mentioned same thing. It's like three levels of understanding of Krishna. The Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan can be Param Jyoti, Sarva Bhuta Guhavasam, Bhagavantam Adokshijam. So Param Brahma Jyoti. This Brahman is also Param Brahma Jyoti, we can say. And Sarva Bhuta Guhavasam means Supreme Lord will be staying in all our hearts as a Paramatma. And Bhagavantam Adokshijam. Bhagavantam again Bhagavan is full of six opulences. And Adokshijam means we cannot see with our material vision, senses. We cannot see. So these are all the various aspects of Bhagavan. Now, when we see that, when we Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan, three aspects of Krishna, Supreme Lord, when we see, it's not the three different forms of Krishna. We should not think like that. It's one form of Krishna, Supreme Lord, but when we say absolute truth, three levels means some people will see as a Brahman, some people will see as a Paramatma, some people will see as a full Bhagavan with six full appearances, right? So same example, Prabhupada was mentioning in many of his purports, right? If we are seeing the, like if we say example of Tirupati, Balaji is there on 7 hills. He was residing on top of 7 hills he was residing. So when you see from far, you will see only little bit all the clouds. You won't see all the 7 hills clearly, right? So when we come close to the hill, then you will see all the trees, so many birds there. So you will see many other things very close, just not clouds. It has a hills, it has a trees and many other bushes, so many forests, so many things are there. And when you go up on the hill, that what you will see nice roads, buildings, and temple is there, deity is there, so many things, people are living there. So the same mountain, 7 hills, but the more far away from the 7 hills, you will see in a different, you will have one vision, like it's only clouds. When you come closer, you will see only very little bit, and when you go inside the hill, on top of the hill, you will see more better vision. So this way people are seeing the Krishna, the absolute truth is in Brahman, Paramatma and Bhagavan. These are the various aspects people will see Krishna. So all these details are available in scriptures, but why we are not able to understand? Like, see, if in original it was all Devanagari. Like if you learn Sanskrit and you go to the Sanskrit scholar, with the help of him, you can start reading scriptures. You can learn Sanskrit, you can try to understand scripture. But at the end of the day, still not everybody is able to understand Bhagavan, Supreme Lord Krishna. But they are able to reach up to Brahman level. Okay, Supreme Lord is only Brahman, Brahma Jyoti. Only up to that level only they are coming. Not able to reach Bhakti level. Everybody. So this is the problem. Though we are having the scriptures, this is what the Jnana Marga. By just with the grammar Sanskrit language, when you try to understand, you are not completely understanding the absolute truth. You are able to understand only one aspect of absolute truth. So that is what. So what is in the same thing Krishna has mentioned in Bhagavad Gita, the people will be, there are like in the 9.14 and 9.15. Just if you see the 9.15, Jnana yajnana chapi anye yajantamam upasate ekatvena pratatvena bahuda vishvato mukam. So this verse Krishna is saying that others who engage in sacrifice by the cultivation of knowledge worship Supreme Lord as the one without a second, as diverse in many and in universal form. So the previous verse Krishna was in 9.14, Krishna was saying about Paramatmas, Mahatmas. Mahatmas were the devotees who constantly meditate on Krishna. But then Krishna is telling there are other people who worship Krishna, same Krishna in different forms. So in that aspect he was saying that yajanto mam upasate. So people will worship. Upasate means worship. In what way? Ekatvena. That is one. Ekatvena means oneness. And pratatvena bahuda means different forms. And vishvato mukam, universal form. So Krishna is saying that apart from the Mahatmas who know that Krishna is absolute Bhagavan, right? The topmost realization of absolute truth is Bhagavan. But people, there are other people who worship. Krishna is also telling the same. Ekatvena, one with the oneness and the different forms and universal form. So why these different branches coming? Like not everybody is able to understand. Again, this is what this is the process. If you understand, it is jnana yajnana. You are trying to follow the jnana path. In the jnana path, what exactly you are doing? You are approaching you are trying to understand with your knowledge. You are trying to acquire the knowledge. If it is in Sanskrit, you try to learn Sanskrit with the Sanskrit grammar. You read the words, you try to interpret, and then you will try to get the message. And with that, or you take the help of Sanskrit scholar who is very good in Sanskrit and language. Then you will take his help and you will try to interpret based on his Sanskrit language, and he will give the information. Then based on that information, then you will try to speculate. Okay, if Krishna is like creating everything, all the universes are created from Brahman, then you will think that okay, Brahman, Brahma Jyoti will be there, so Krishna is the source of everything. Then you start worshipping Brahman as a ultimate destination, right? But when we approach Guru, what will happen? Guru will tell not just knowledge. Guru will impart. He realized whatever he realized, the knowledge he will teach. So the knowledge coming through realization, he will impart. Not just, he will not say that okay, if you say Krishna is a Brahman, Parabrahma, it's a three aspects. Like Brahma Jyoti is, all the manifestation is done through Brahma, all the universes created through Brahman. But the Guru, when we is the realized soul, he will understand little bit higher. This Brahman is effulgence of Supreme Lord Krishna. So its ultimate source is Krishna. So we need to worship Krishna. So Guru will have a more realization and knowledge and understanding. With that, he will give more details. But if you learn, if you do on your own with your knowledge by reading just Sanskrit text, you may not be able to get the understanding the same context. So here the difference is, when you through the Jnana Marga, you will understand whatever is there in the verse. But when you approach the spiritual, the Guru, what Guru will tell? Guru will give the knowledge, which is with realized knowledge, he will give the proper information. So if you see that in this verse, it was mentioned in the 9.5, Ekatvena, Pratyektvena, there are different paths, right? Ekatvena means oneness. Here, Krishna is telling that Jiva and Ishvara is one. In that Ekatvena means oneness, means Jiva and Ishvara is one, means the father and son are the same. Like if Ishvara is a supreme father and Jiva is a son, like father and son are same. That's what the interpretation is. People will derive when you follow the Jnana Marga, right? But like even Radhesham Prabhu was explaining that even in the Bible also it is mentioned, Jesus saying that I and God are same, right? So this, and how when you took Jnana Marga, just by language, when you try to understand what you think that okay, Jesus, God and Jesus are same, means they're not like, it's not that Krishna, Jesus is God. It's like the qualitatively both are having spirit, both are the souls. At that level we need to understand. But when we approach Guru, he will explain this in more detail. How? Like if you example is, there is a parrot is there. Parrot is sitting onto the tree. What will happen? Parrot is a green color. Tree is also green. So is parrot is becoming tree? No. Parrot is sitting on the tree and it is trying to eat the fruits of that tree. But parrot is still having the individuality. This kind of knowledge, when you do the Jnana Marga, like with the knowledge of the language or any other means, if you try to, or you speculate, you may not be able to understand their minute differences. So when you follow the path of this Guru, like when we approach Guru, he will give the example. With these examples, like parrot is sitting on the branch of the tree and it is trying to eat the fruits, but it is not trying to become tree, right? There is a difference. Same way, like if the God is Ishvara and Jiva is one, means Jiva is trying to go back to Godhead and he will reach the ultimate destination, but still he will have his individuality. He will try to worship the Lord. The Lord is exhibiting different rasas, Madhurya rasa, Vatsalya rasa, Shanta, Sakya, Dasya. So the Jiva will try to engage with Ishvara in all these rasas.
So that is the ultimate. So the Jnana Yogi, they will not be able to understand these details when you just by the language or any scholarly skills, if you try to interpret, you try to speculate, these main details you may not be able to understand. Only where you can understand is when you approach the Guru. Guru will give the like even tadvidi pranipatena praniprasnena sevaya upadekshayantite jnanam jnanina tattvadarshana. Guru has already seen the truth. He realized it. When you approach the Guru, you will have a better understanding on these aspects. So when if you understand the reason why we have impersonalists, all Mayavadis, all these things, why it is coming? So when we read the scriptures, you are following the Jnana Marga, not Bhakti Marga, the spiritual path, approaching the Guru. You are not trying to, even though if you approach Guru, not the bona fide Guru. So by following the incorrect path, you are getting the incorrect knowledge. That is leading to different paths in our society. Like someone will be saying the Brahman, some only realizing up to Paramatma, and someone will be understanding full. So these are the various differences. Why Guru is like why we are having these different branches of the understanding. And even in that verse also, the people worship not only Ekatvena, oneness. The other aspect is Bahuda Vishwatam, Bahuda Putaktvena Bahuda. Like one more aspect of impersonal is like impersonal Brahma Jyoti is there. It's impersonal, no form. And to realize that impersonal Brahman, people will follow this Panchopasana. Right? What they will do? This is Shankaracharya proposed Mayavadi philosophy. In that what will people does? Like there are 5 kinds of deities he will prescribe: Surya, Shakti, Durga, Shiva, Ganesha, and Vishnu. So what their intention is, people worship these different deities. The purpose is to understand to realize the Brahman, to merge in the Brahman, and to become God. So you are merging in the Brahman means ultimately you want to become a God, right? That is the process, the Panchopasana, the Mayavad impersonalists to follow. So all these deities, whatever they in this case, in this impersonal aspect, the deity worship is low level, and the ultimate destination is high, the realizing the Brahman. That is the topmost. So this is the incorrect understanding people will develop, and all the Ganesha, Durga, Shiva, Vishnu, everything they will worship to get their ultimate benefit. That is, the benefit is reaching to Brahman, understanding the merging with Brahman, and to become a God. With that aspect, this is very low level worshipping. See, when we do deity worship to Supreme Lord, we do Anya Abhilashita Sunya. We don't have any desire. Ahetuki apratihata, right? We don't have any hetu, we don't have any motive when worshipping the deities. But here if you see, it's very low standard, where their ultimate aim is to go to the Brahman, to realize the Brahman, to merge in the Brahman, to become a God. With that motive, the people will be doing this Panchopasana. And then it's okay, the intermediate, you are using this deity worship for your own benefit. So this is how the Putakvena Bahuda. And Vishwatamukha means universal form. This is more higher than the impersonalist aspect, where Vishwatamukha means the universal form. People at the neophyte stage, they may not be able to understand the transcendental qualities of Krishna. So they may, since they are covered with the material elements, the material consciousness, so Krishna is also universal form, is also, it's in the material form. People will try to understand Krishna, like different, the sun and moon are eyes, different tree, mountains are like his bones. So comparing the analogy, by giving the material world analogy, the people try to understand Supreme Lord. So these are the various paths people will follow to understand Krishna. So we have a scriptures, we have all the information available in Vedas, Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, everywhere, but people are approaching differently to understand that knowledge. Some people will just approach, read on their own by learning language, they will try to interpret on their own, they speculate, okay, this verse is saying like that, means Krishna will be in this form, like this. So they will imagine something, they try to speculate. So that is how these different divisions are coming, and they are not able to understand the absolute, and the ultimate absolute is the Bhagavan realization is the topmost. This Brahman realization is not the one. So, but in this case, Dhruva Maharaj understands all, like the Brahman is, what is the role of Brahman in our material creation? He understands that. That is what he is trying to highlight. The Brahman is the source of material creation, and the ultimate source of Brahman is Supreme Lord. So that aspect of Brahman, Dhruv Maharaj is offering prayers. So in generally, when we try to understand this knowledge in the Jnana Marga, we can try to compare with this material education also. In case of material education, what will happen? You approach a teacher and he will give the knowledge, and with the knowledge you do other activities as well. You go to field work, you go to museums, or you go to science thing. So you go different places and you understand whatever teacher taught, and then based on that you will be getting the knowledge. So but this is the, so what you are trying to do, you learn something in the school with the teacher, and then you try to the pratyaksha praman, you want to have some evidences relation to that, that you will be trying to understand the, get the knowledge. But in case of spiritual path, this knowledge, the transcendental knowledge, understanding the absolute truth, how is it possible? The Krishna is telling very clearly in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna, in the 4th chapter, Krishna is telling Arjuna that why I am giving this knowledge to you. Krishna told, your bhakta, your bhaktosmi saka cheti jnanecha bharistarsham, right? Bhaktosmi saka cheti. He is saying that since you are my bhakta, I am giving the knowledge, this knowledge. So Krishna reveals the knowledge, this the absolute, the devotion. When you follow the devotional path, the actual proper path, Krishna will reveal this knowledge. So you cannot get this the topmost realization, Bhagavan. You will not get just like that by reading the book, by mental speculation, by approaching impersonal guru. You will not be able to understand all these things. You will be able to understand this ultimate absolute truth, Bhagavan realization, you will be getting only when you worship Krishna. That is what Bhagavad Gita is saying. Bhaktosmi. Since you are my bhakta, I have been giving this knowledge. And in subsequently in 18th chapter also, Krishna is saying, Bhaktya mam abhijanati. What the translation in 18.55 says, one can understand me as I am, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, only by devotional service. So when you do devotional service, then only you will be able to understand me. And even further, even 10th chapter also it was mentioned, Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tam yenamami upayantate. So even when you perform constantly devoted to serving me with love, I give understanding. So understanding this transcendental scripture is not just reading the Sanskrit verse and understanding, not just speculating. Like example I can tell you. So we in the Bhagavad Gita, we see karma yoga, karma, akarma, vikarma, those sort of things are there in the Bhagavad Gita. So when you read Sanskrit verse and you try to the meaning, when you try to understand, okay, what is karma? But when you approach Guru, Guru will more give you till instructions. Okay, in this path you follow like this, and you like karma, akarma. So without expecting any results, you follow this path and you perform devotion. So that way Guru will give more elaboration. Then Guru will ask you to perform service in that consciousness. So then you will understand this knowledge more clearly. So this is the purpose, how that is what Krishna is telling in Bhagavad Gita. And I mean in 10.11 also it is Tesham evanu kampartam aham ajnana jam tama nasayami atma bhavasto jnana deepene bhasvata. To show them special mercy, I dwell in their hearts, destroying with shining lamp of knowledge. Born of. So even that's what, when you perform devotion, Krishna will remove your ignorance and he will give the knowledge. So the spiritual knowledge which you have to acquire, like the Brahman, Paramatman, the Bhagavan is the topmost realization. That realization will achieve only when you perform devotional service, not by any other means. So the main conclusion what I wanted to highlight from this is that the Brahman realization is there, Dhruv Maharaj is having, but this Brahma, he is not stopping that at that level. He knows more, he knows that absolute Krishna is the Bhagavan, and he understands that Bhagavan realization is the topmost, but in this connection he is glorifying that the material creation is done with the Brahman, is the source of ultimate, immediate source of Brahma, this material universe, but the source of Brahman is Krishna. He is very clearly understand that, and with that he is offering obeisances. Now another thing is Krishna, so in this Dhruv Maharaj aspect, so what happened? When Lord Vishnu appeared, Vishnu touched with his conch shell, the divine touch of the conch shell changed his complete consciousness. And we also like all these verses in Bhagavad Gita verses, we are on Bhagavatam verses saying we need to perform devotion to understand knowledge, this transcendental knowledge, to get the complete understand this absolute truth, that is a Bhagavan realization. We need to perform all the devotional service. But we may think that, okay, Dhruva Maharaj got the divine touch of conch shell that purified his consciousness. Then what we not for? What is in our case? What will happen? So we are all. Do we have opportunity to have the divine touch, like how Dhruva Maharaj got the conch shell touch, right? So do we have any opportunity to get kind of divine touch in our life? So if you see, it is there. Prabhupada made the process very simple. Chanting the holy name, chanting the Harinam, right? So when we chant the holy name, like the holy Harinam name is non-different from Krishna, right? The holy name touching your tongue. So it's like a divine touch to us. Like the how Dhruva Maharaj got a conch shell, same way the holy name is touching our tongue, right? So it is touching our body. So when we do the chanting sincerely with a whole chant the holy name Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then our consciousness will be purified. Then we will be able to understand all this scriptural meaning, understanding, and then we will have a ultimate realization of the absolute truth. So with it I will conclude. Any comments? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय.